Hello, Facebook. We are live, and today I am bringing to you another exciting story of the graduate of the J. Shetty Certification School. I hope everybody is having a great week. Yesterday, we had another fantastic guest. We had Ryan, and we had a great conversation about his type of coaching. Our today's guest has a completely different niche. Allow me to introduce her to you. Her name is Carla Martins, and she is a life and leadership coach. Not only Carla is helping her clients change their lives, but also she is pioneering coaching in her own workplace. So today we're going to be talking about that. Carla, welcome. I'm excited to have you with us.
Thank you, Madina. Thank you very much for the lovely introduction. Hi, everyone. Very excited to be here and share some of my stories with you as well. So thank you.
We are excited, Carla, and I know that today we will be learning a lot about new division, or if you'd like, a new niche that you have created. I'm really excited to dive into that. But before we start talking about the niche and the lives that you are changing in your practice and in your workplace, let's talk about how did everything start? When and why did you decide to become a coach?
Well, I think actually Coach selected me somehow because I've been throughout my life always in some way, professionally and personally, been the person that people came to me asking questions, guidance, advice. And of course, I gave it to them at the time because I didn't know better. And it's been a journey since then. And it's actually what I love, helping people and serving people. And about 5 years ago, I thought I've started to learn more about coaching, attending some events, some conferences. And I was thinking, okay, maybe I can become a coach. And that's where everything started, the journey actually from being an informal coach, using already some coaching skills. I've realized when I've started my graduation that I was already using a lot of coaching skills to make it a formal certification. That's the journey until now.
I love the journey, Carla, and also I know that your journey took turns that you perhaps didn't expect. So tell us, what have you been up to after graduation, and how is your coaching practice doing?
So I've graduated in December last year, and I already had started and thinking about the business and the coaching practice during the certification. So started around August, starting to think, created a website, starting about the audience, the target, and things in the meantime have changed. So I've started the coaching practice immediately after certification. Life coaching, one-to-one sessions, but I've also started something very interesting, which I'm loving, which is coaching at my workplace, because I work full-time currently as an HR director and operations director at the charity. And I'm starting coaching the leaders at my organization, so leadership coaching. And we've started actually during the practice when we had to have those supervised sessions. And from there, I really see a gap in the workplace. We do need coaching. People don't know how to be with other people and really understand why someone feels some way and be more compassionate without just attacking and creating conflicts. Really to understand why does that person is like that today. Maybe I should also look at my behaviors and try to understand a bit more. And it's been making a huge difference at my workplace. People are noticing how those leaders have adjusted their behaviors and how the workplace is much better, the culture, the engagement, the teamwork. So it's been an exciting journey.
Exciting indeed. And Carla, I'd love to dive into that coaching leaders, and I'd like to pick your brains. As a coach who already is fully professionally practicing, someone who is already carrying the badge of a certified coach for 6 months and doing coaching on in your own personal practice and in the workplace, why do you think as of this moment there are not many organizations that actually employ coaches or train their own coaches for the workplace? And how do you think this could benefit the overall workplace performance, especially in a post-COVID era?
So first, I think there's a lot of misconception about what coaching is and how it can help. I think organizations still have the perception that coaching is only results. When they hire a coach, it's because they want the team to get a result. So that's the main misconception, I think, that exists currently at organizations. And when they recruit a coach, because there are a lot of executive coach, it's always the technical side. Getting a result either is higher profits or completing a project. And I think that the human part of the coaching is missing. So really understanding people, help them to think for themselves as humans, not only about the skills or being good project managers, no, about being good humans, being kind, compassionate at the workplace. And I think that human piece in terms of the coaching is what's missing at the workplace. And especially, as you mentioned, Madina, now with COVID-19, more and more organizations are looking at their employees' well-being. And coaching could be something completely game changer if they decided to start either to have internal coaches or recruit coaches that would focus not only on the results, because action and results is amazing and it's part of the coaching process at the end as well, but going to that initial piece of helping people to think for themselves, being self-aware, being confident, really looking at those negative emotions, negative thoughts, those negative mindsets, and help them move from those limiting beliefs, those negativity, moving to a growth and positive mindset. And that journey would then, of course, help to get to the results and where we would need to go and organizations would need to. But I think that step is missing at organizations.
Beautifully explained, Carla. And just because you have completed recently the Coach MBA program, I'm going to ask that question. I think some of the business owners and many managers from our audience who are watching this live or will be watching this on replay can benefit from the answer to the following question. So as an HR manager yourself, what would you say are the ROI, the return on investment for the organization in hiring their own coach?
So there are tangible and intangible wins in terms of getting a coach. Tangible, it's clear, for example, that organizations will increase productivity highly by having the coach. So productivity in terms of performance of their employees, and that, of course, will drive the revenues of the organization. So that's quite tangible. And then there are, for me, actually, most important ones in terms of the well-being when we are working at the workplace, which is the return on investment in terms of the people. So engagement will be higher. People will be happier at the workplace. The well-being. So, for example, people now, because of COVID, are actually absent from work because they can't cope with the burnout, the overwhelm, everything that's happening. So that would change drastically. So people would feel happier, would feel engaged, committed. The culture of the organization would be one that people would like to work. So retention of employees. And if we are talking in terms of retention, that also translates in money. So that's tangible as well, because just replacing an employee is highly costly. And if you have high turnover in an organization, the costs are huge. So another tangible benefit for organizations as well. So all those tangible and intangible would make a huge difference. And for the human resources department, life would be so much easier, so much easier. If you have happy employees, engaged and committee, healthy, both mentally, physically, spiritually, that's the dream.
Mic drop, Carla, nothing to add. And I'm not even sure what I want to ask next. Such a wonderful speech. I wish we could record it, and put it out there for many, many business owners and maybe even managers and CEOs to see, because I think what you said is so much needed to be spread as awareness to our leaders, to our, HR managers, to the CEOs, to the investors, to the business owners. This is very and very important. Thank you so much. And Carla, what would be the ROI for a regular client, for a regular person in hiring a life coach for themselves?
Well, it depends on what the person wants for the coach. For example, in my personal coaching, I help people who feel stuck and overwhelmed. And I help them by unleashing their inner power, because I believe we are all whole and resourceful. So everything is within us. We just need someone to guide us and facilitate the journey from where we are to where we want to be. So, and for the people that work with me, the return on investment is peace of mind, is focus, is getting the focus, the peace of mind, the confidence, the self-worth. There are all very important returns on investment. And of course, those will also translate again in tangible benefits, because if you have all this in your mindset, if you are in peace with yourself, if you are focused, you are resilient, you feel self-worth, you feel happy, then it translates in all the areas of your life, in your career. So you will be more productive. You might even be able to change to a better job because your confidence has grown so much. So that can be a tangible return on investment, a better job. Or your relationships. You might be unhappy in your life with your family or your marriage or friends. But if you change or if you transform to someone more confident, compassionate, you have positive energy, that vibe, that happiness, it also translates in your relationships, in your friendships with your spouses, your sons and daughters. I've noticed a huge change, for example, in my life with my son, because my approach was completely different with him. It's like it's dealing with a grown up. It's adult conversations, and it's so empowering. It's amazing. So for me, there's always something to win. I have a coach as well. I continue to have a coach, and I think that we are always learning. And if you find the person that connects with you in terms of energy, if it's the right fit for you as a coach, the possibilities are indefinite, I think. There's always something good to learn and to take and to grow from having a coach.
Sorry, I love that, Carla, and I love how you explain the ROI. That's because I am speechless. Even my mic is getting muted because you're explaining the ROIs beautifully. And I think now it's very clear for anyone who is watching, why would somebody need a coach? But tell us, who do you work with? Who are your clients? And what kind of challenges do they usually bring to your coaching sessions?
So currently, in terms of my personal practice, so I haven't had the niche if I work with women or men, no. So and it's been naturally developing as well, because I've been certified just for 6 months. So now I'm working with people, either men or women, and it's happening both ways, men and women, who are actually overwhelmed and stressed and feel anxiety with very low self-esteem, low self-worth, and they don't know what to do. So the question is, I don't know what to do always when people come to me. And that's the clients that I've been attracting, actually. So they've come to me with almost the same issues currently. And then the process is help them to understand why they feel that way, getting that self-awareness, really go to the root of the issues. And sometimes we discover it's completely different from what they initially thought. And then start the journey to move to a different mindset.
I love that. And Carla, do you have any success stories or case studies maybe that you can share with us, telling us about the stories or relationships with your clients that you are mostly proud of as of today?
Okay, That's a good question. Thank you. Well, I'm proud of all of them because they are all amazing, amazing. I'm very lucky. All amazing, amazing people. I can give, for example, two examples. One was a client that started with me my first coaching session practice when I was doing the certification, which was very interesting because it was the first one. So I didn't know what I was doing. And suddenly someone came to me when I asked the question, she asked me a question. So the question came back to me and I was, oh, but that wasn't supposed to be like that. I was supposed to ask the question and that person should answer the question. But no, the full session was, I asked the question and the question came back to me and I was, oh my God, what am I going to do? But it was actually amazing. What I've learned with that client, it can't be explained because I had to really understand what was happening. I never had found someone that had a conversation through questions, only questions, not an answer. So, but the evolution that that client had until now. So I still coach. So it's been since October I started the coaching with her, and until today. And the evolution is amazing. The people around her really noticed how she now listens as well, and is able to have a proper conversation without just asking questions. And her self-esteem, her confidence, the way she's able to have a proper conversation, because the issue was she wasn't confident enough to be able to answer a question. So what she used to do was asking questions back. So it was a transformation that was amazing.
What an interesting story. I hear many success stories, but I think this one is truly unique because what an interesting challenge to have, right? Indeed, we all are unique. And honestly, in my experience, it's first time I'm hearing a challenge like that, and the transformation that you took the clients through is absolutely, absolutely amazing. And of course, the length of the relationship, I can imagine how fruitful and rewarding that is for both of you. Congratulations, Carla.
It's been amazing.
So when you tell people that you are a coach, what they still get wrong or don't get about your profession?
Well, they think that we give advice. We tell them what to do. That's, I think, the most common misconception is that when I tell someone I'm a coach, oh, so you help people, you tell them what to do and how to do things. And no, that's not what we do. That's the biggest misconception. And even when I'm having discovery calls with clients, one of the things that I really want to explain is how the coaching works and really make them understand that we don't give advice because it's not our place to give advice. We just guide, we help. We help with the self-awareness. We help with the reflection, with getting people to get those insights. And it's through our questions, through reflecting back. Sometimes it's only through listening. I had a very recent amazing experience. It was the first one for me as well with a client, actually from the Live Your Passion. And it was amazing because it was a 45 minutes listening. I just listened for 45 minutes and I loved it. It was just listen. The person just needed to talk, just to explain how what feelings, what was happening. And at the end of the 45 minutes, I just reflected back. This is what I've heard, all these things, the key things that we learn to unpick from what is said and what is not said. And the person was able just to, oh my God, aha. And I was just, okay, this is amazing.
It's amazing indeed. 45 minutes of listening and simply reflection, mirroring back and summarizing, and they got their answer, isn't it?
Exactly, because sometimes we have the answers inside us, but we can't get there because they are deep in somewhere, buried somewhere inside of us. And just by talking and by a question, they just, there it is.
Beautifully said. They are too deep, and that's why we cannot see them on our own. Beautifully said, Carla. Can you tell us a little bit more about that unique coaching approach that you have? Because after hearing these two stories, I'm genuinely curious, what is your methodology? How do you allow your clients to tap there? How do you allow them to see those hidden repositories and resourcefulness? Tell us all about it.
Okay, so the unique, I think unique in terms of my coaching. So it's me, I'm unique. My clients, we are all unique. And then what I did is I've created a framework, and of course I've used the ABC framework that we've learned at the J's certification. There are other coaching models that I've learned as well, like the growth, the coaching triangle. So there are different models. So what I did is created a framework where I get insights from those different coaching models that exist. And the framework is like, I call it a dance. We dance together among those areas. And there are four key quadrants for me in the framework I've created. One, of course, is I call it light and clarity. And if you notice, the name of the business I've created is Be Light You, because I think light and clarity is one of the key, most important things in the coaching, is the self-awareness. It's the awareness. So really understand ourselves, know ourselves very, very well. So that's the let's say the first quadrant. Then the other quadrant is release. I call it release because it's those deep-rooted beliefs that we have inside ourselves that are built from our childhood. All those networks in our brain, all those connections that we've created since we are kids and through our family, friends, etc. And we still have them today. And some of them are good and they actually helped us in the past, but today they are hindering us. They're actually not positive. So that's the second quadrant. Then there's the third one, which I call inspiring, because it's living happy, feel inspired and inspire others around you. And then finally is I call it enlighten, is getting that clear vision and dreams and get results, because we also need results. It's good to be self-aware, be happy, and really change our limiting beliefs, but we also need action, tangible steps, results, that we have a goal or a dream or several goals, several dreams. That's unique to each individual. And then that's the journey. And there's a dance. This doesn't have a logical sequence. So it's a dance where we work on those as needed to get from a point A from a point B. The point B is the one that the client wants.
Wow, Carla, the more we talk, the more I am intrigued. And I didn't notice how we already have been going for 22 minutes because it seems like literally 1 minute. It is so inspiring to listen about your accomplishments and the framework, but I only have time left for 2 questions, so I am going to ask them. So looking at your journey from the day you decided to become a coach until today, would you say you performed according to your own expectations, or do you feel you underperformed or overperformed? I'm just curious.
Oh, that's a great question, Madina. I would say I've overperformed. And that's something that I really believe, is that we don't trust ourselves enough. We always think, oh, I can't do this. Oh, this is not for me. Oh, that person made it. Tony Robbins, for example. I love Tony Robbins. I love Jay, and we say, oh, they are different. They can do it. I can't do it. No, that's a lie. So we can do whatever we want. What we set our minds to, of course, commitment is needed, right? We can't just say, oh, I want to be, for example, like Jay, and then you don't do anything. You just keep your day-to-day life and nothing else. No. So I believe we can do whatever we want. We have what we need. We just need to believe in ourselves, love ourselves, believe in ourselves. And for me, it's always learning and growth. I am a lifelong learner. I'm always learning, always. And that's key, I think, to get to your dreams.
That was very empowering, Carla. And I'm sure that many students who are just starting their journey, when they will watch this interview, they will feel really inspired, by what you've just said, because you're right. We often set the standards comparing ourselves to people who achieved something, and they are saying, well, it's them, but I am not like them. But again, we have the proven example in front of us today, and that is you. Looking at where you are today, I must say I'm so proud of you. And Carla,
Thank
lastly, tell
you.
us, if somebody is watching us or listening to us right now, or will be doing that after we are done streaming live on replay, and they want to work with you, what should they do? What is the process, and where should they go?
Okay, so that's very easy. So the website is actually here. It's www.belightyou.com. That's the name of my business. And it's just connect with me. We are offering 1 hour discovery call to everyone that wants to speak with me for 1 hour. And during the discovery call, which is free, it's really understanding if I am the right coach for you, you are the right client for me, understand what the client wants, and actually do some coaching already, because that's what I do in the discovery calls. A big part of the discovery call, it's already a coaching session, which is very exciting.
I love that offer. So if you are looking for a life coach, or maybe you even want some leadership coaching, you may go to Carla, and her website is www.belightyou.com. What a beautiful name of the website. And make sure you book that free 1 hour discovery call with Carla, because if I were you and if I needed a coach, I would not hesitate to do that right away after this insightful interview. Carla, may I thank you for your generosity with the wisdom, inspiration, and motivation that you brought to our day today. And may I tell you that I am proud to call you an alumni of the J. Shetty Certification School.
Thank you, Madina. I also thank you very much, and the school, because if anyone is thinking of doing a coaching certification, this is the right school, because I've noticed I did a lot of research before I decided to join the J. Shetty Certification School. And I really think that this school has something that others don't, which is the integration between the body, the mind, and the soul. So it's not just coaching techniques. It's really these three. It's like the triangle: body, mind, and soul in a coaching program, which is invaluable. So good luck for everyone, and see you soon.
Thank you so much, Carla. I also hope to see you soon. And I would like to thank you once again. Keep doing what you're doing. Spread the J. Shetty coaching, spread the light, spread the service. It seems like you are already on such a fast pace. And I only can imagine what will happen when we talk to you again in a year or so, and we do this again sometimes. And you will come and tell us that, probably by then you already transformed thousands of lives, because I think with your inspiration, with your energy, you are on track to do exactly that.
Thank you, Madina, and looking forward to it. And thank
Me
you, Ricky.
Ricky came to support you. Ricky, good to see you. Long time. And I saw so many alumni today in the chat coming to support you and congratulating you on your graduation and your interview, Carla. I want to thank all our listeners for staying with us, for congratulating, for supporting, and for listening to this inspiring story. Again, don't forget, if you're looking for a leadership and a life coach, contact Carla at her website, belightyou.com, for a free 1 hour discovery session. And on this, we are going to wish you a wonderful rest of the week and a restful weekend until we meet again next week with another story of the J. Shetty Certification School alumni. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.